before we wrap this topic up, man, I just want to add to, man, the biggest debts most people accumulate in their life. You got your
Let's go.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another live of the FMF podcast, man. We're coming back to y'all once again. Hitting y'all with the
Yeah,
live, man. We appreciate all the support, the love, man. Make sure y'all send this out to everybody that y'all know. So, we get that support, man, and get the conversation and everything flowing. But what we're going to do right now, right? We're going to go ahead and get into our first topic, man. We got a couple of topics we're going to touch on today, but the first one is in the finance realm, right? So this first topic we're going to talk about is debt accumulation. And basically, what does debt accumulation mean? So before I kind of go into my spiel of what I think debt accumulation is and how I feel about it, do y'all got any thoughts in regards to like debt accumulation? How y'all feel about that? Like, what's y'all thoughts about that topic before I go into my little spiel?
absolutely. So with debt accumulation, what I wanted, what I really want to touch on with debt accumulation is how easy it is to accumulate debt and how normalized it is. Because before I even had debt, everybody was telling me about debt relief and how to get rid of debt. And it was a foreign concept to me. So I was like, I don't even have debt to get rid of. So like I'm not even in this playing field. So once I started accumulating debt, it was like I still had that mentality like it's not debt, like I can tolerate this, I could pay this off, and then a year later I'm still making payments. Like what
No, that's real. That's real. All right, so we'll definitely touch on that. What's your thoughts, G? What you feel about like debt accumulation, man?
Man, it's a mixture. I hear both. I think debt accumulation can be good and it can be bad. I mean, one hand, I'm talking about. They say debt is one of the worst things that you can have because it's like you always feel like you gotta owe somebody. You always
Hmm.
gotta pay somebody back. That's always in your ear. You like, dang, I know I gotta owe them people back. So it's like, dang, I gotta do that. But on the other side, you gotta have debt because you gotta show that you can owe something, that you can pay something back.
Yep.
credibility.
And shoot, they say that most of the millionaires and billionaires they have a lot of debt.
Hmm.
So I mean, and that's how they became so wealthy. So I mean, it's up and down. Honestly, me personally, I don't want to owe nobody nothing. I feel like it's like a man owed me telling something, yeah, you're gonna give me my money.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me my money.
Yeah.
I don't want that. That ain't my style. I don't want nobody to tell me, hey, bro, you ain't gonna be telling me that I owe you money. I don't play them type of games. So I'm trying my best to get up out of it.
Yeah. Yo, it's a real.
Shine. Get your shine on.
Get your shine on, shout it.
Yeah. So, hey, I put this on. I put it on everywhere. Booty cheeks, kneecaps, underarms. I got the vanilla right here. Usually, hey, I got the lavender ones. It helped me sleep good. 'Cause I be sleeping like this, and I can smell it off my hands. I'm trying to tell you, feeling good. Y'all better rock with this.
Right.
It's that vanilla. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't being ashy no more. Hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene is important. You need to get your shine. It's hydrating. It's light. It lasts all day. You don't got to use a lot, and it's good from face to foot.
Historically, I don't really use lotion or nothing like that because I'm like in a hybrid, light skin, in between dark skin motherfuckers. Coming back from vacation, I'm a little sunburnt. So I needed something to get my skin back right because I'm feeling like a reptile right now. So I'm gonna get this baby going on when I get home.
Oh, and look, you gotta shine on, everybody.
Shine
This is, hey, look, I got like 4 cases. I got a bunch of cases, and I got the big jar too. That's old school. Y'all don't even know about that. He don't even got those no more. But look, I'm telling y'all, this shine is amazing. Help with eczema, clear your skin up, all of that great stuff. So, You don't want to miss out on this shine, man. Make sure y'all go get y'all a bottle of this.
All natural ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yep. Where they can find it?
So you can find this at shinecareproducts.com. Let them know that we sent you. Use the code FMF20, get you a discount.
Got to.
Tug of war in society, man, when it comes to this debt and how people use it for the benefit, but also how it can hurt you. One of the things I want to talk about before we get into the trade point about like how easy it is to accumulate debt is you got two sides of the spectrum. So you got one side where you got the people that believe debt is bad. That's like your Dave Ramsey's. Dave Ramsey always talking about like, yo, zero debt, not owing nobody. And then also, if you're looking in the business realm, somebody who don't believe in debt is Dame Dash. Dame Dash always talking about using your own money, don't leverage other people's money. So you got, people on that side, and then you got other people like, I believe it's like Grant Cardone's, Mike Key, my man Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, where they like, yo, like, why use our money? We're gonna use other people's money and accumulate assets and things like that. So I just wanted to preference it by like, yo, like you can use either way, whatever way you decide to use, long as you being responsible. That's the most important key. But the thing I want to talk about, like touch on today with the debt accumulation, man, is the different types of debt. And this gonna go into a trade point of like, yo, why it's so easy to get stuck in the debt, and why do it take so long to get you out of debt? So you got a couple of different things, man. You got secure loan, you got secure debts and unsecured debts. So your secure debts is like, if y'all are familiar with like secure credit cards or secure loan, that's backed by some type of collateral, either cash or people take your title for your car and things like that. So if you don't pay, they always get their money or they get some asset of yours. So you got your secure loans. Then you also got your unsecured loans, where that's based off your good faith, based off your credit history. That's your regular credit cards, where, if you just don't pay, they send it to collections and they let the collections company hound you to get the money back. So you got those type. And then you got revolving debts, which is like your credit cards, where you keep paying on it. You keep paying over a period of time. So you might have $1,000 limit, and then you spend $100 on it. You pay that $100 off, and you still could use that $4,000 credit. So that's your revolving, where it just fluctuates based on your payments. And then you got your installment debts, which is like when somebody give you a loan, they give you $1,000 and they like, look, we ain't giving you no more money until you pay this all back. And it's usually you make the same payment over a period of time. The reason why it's important to know these things is because you need to know what kind of fight is you getting into when you're dealing with these credit, when you're dealing with this, when you're dealing with this debt. A lot of the reason why it's so hard to get out of debt, people forget about interest. People forget about interest, man. And I mean, because to be honest, my thoughts is, in America, when it comes to major property, you never really own anything. Because even when you pay off your house, you still got to pay property tax. And if you don't pay property tax, the governments take your stuff.
What you mean major property? What you mean? Like,
so like cars, any type of thing you got to pay personal property taxes on. So like cars, like RVs, motorcycles, houses, RVs, all of those things, you got to go through the DMV or go through, whatever government agency in order to let them know you own property. The government gonna want their piece of the pie on it. And if you don't pay your piece of the pie to the government come and take your stuff, that's a whole nother topic in itself, that you could pay off what you owe, but the government could just swoop in because you don't pay the government their portion. That's a different topic. But people forget that it's interest that you got to pay on a lot of this stuff. And that's why with me, we talked about the renting versus owning. The renting versus owning. If I'm gonna buy something, I want to own it outright. So now I don't got to worry about interest. Kind of like I'm a little bit. If I had to choose the side between using debt to leverage or just being debt free, I think I would rather be debt free. I'd rather be debt free than trying to juggle making payments or stuff. Because the moment you get backed up or get in a bad financial crisis, they come and they take everything from you. But at least if you owe it, the only thing you got to worry about is property taxes. So when it comes to what Trey point of being stuck in this rat wheel called being in debt, a lot of people are not responsible because they forget about interest and they forget about late payments. They get in this hole, man. It's so hard to dig yourself out the hole once you get up in it, man. And that's what a lot of these credit companies are banking on. They give you rewards points. They give you a year of no interest because they know majority of people is not going to pay it off in 12 months. They're not going to pay their debt off in 12 months. Majority of people going to see, oh, I can get rewards points. I'm going to spend it and get these points. But the credit company know the benefit of that is if they don't pay it off, we're going to get our money back in the interest. So it's a big hamster wheel when it comes to trying to figure out this debt accumulation, man, where it's some people that's using it and they using it for their benefit, but majority of people, man, they getting themselves in a hole that, as you can see now in America, man, you can't. It's hard to dig yourself out of.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
Know what he's talking about.
But how you think they know that for some reason people are not going to pay it for them 12 months? Do you think they gather statistics? Do you think that they just did like psychology on people? They do a test? How you think they know that?
All of it.
They knew that.
They do. I guarantee they do all of it. All these big companies, I don't know if it's true or not because I'm not in the works with them, but a lot of these big companies, they got like not psychiatrists, but I forgot the word. It might be like a psychiatrist. They got these type of people that's in their marketing team because they want to know human behavior. They trying to understand human behavior. And they understand that, like, yo, when you dangle some type of incentive in front of people, they jump on it. Like, yo, you like credit cards, for example, for the big money spenders. Now that I got into this business round, I keep getting a credit card every single month talking about, yo, if you sign up and you get approved and you spend $6,000 in your first 6 months, you get $1,000 back in cash or something. You know what I'm saying? They keep dangling out these promotions because they know, oh, I can get $1,000 for spending and I'm going to spend it anyway. You bet. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But the thing people don't understand is if you don't pay it down, you're paying interest. So a lot of these times, these companies get their money right back on interest payments. They get their money right, interest payment, late fees, all of that stuff, man. And a lot of these companies, they making so much money, they don't care whether you pay it back or not. Because if you don't pay it back, they use it as tax write-offs at the end of the year. And that's why they sell your debt to a collection company and they stick the hounds on you because the collection companies is the hounds. And they gonna come and they try to collect their money because that's how they get their money back. It's a crazy game, man, when it comes to this credit stuff, man. And a lot of this stuff I learned the hard way going through charge-offs and late payments and jumping at every single offer that pop up and all of this stuff, man. And I just learned over time, like, you gotta learn your personality type, man. If you're not like really strict and regimented and you don't got a great cash flow coming in where you know you can pay your stuff off immediately, a lot of these times, man, a lot of these rewards points and things like that, it's not really worth it a lot of the times, man.
Damn.
What's y'all feelings? What's y'all thoughts, man? How y'all feel about like this the debt accumulation thing?
I definitely know that coming in for compounding interest, you got to get on the other side of it. It is a game. You got to get on the other side of it, and that's something that we don't talk about enough, especially when it comes to finances and financial freedom. We're gonna have to have that discussion too. The factors in financial freedom, because people just be throwing that around and don't actually like know what it means. They think financial freedom is just making more money, but it's that's not all it is. Evening, gentlemen. What's up, Chris? What's up, Flo? Florida boy.
What's up?
Florida boy in the building. He gonna come on later on. I don't know if you want to jump on this topic, but he gonna come on later on.
Okay.
So, when it comes to debt accumulation, like I said, my biggest struggle is how easy it is. What I want to ask is, knowing what you know now,
Mhm.
what would you tell your younger self starting off within your financial literacy, within your financial realm? What would you tell your younger self, or what would you do different?
The biggest thing I would tell myself, that's actually a good question. The biggest thing I would tell myself is, if you don't got the cash for it, don't put it on your card. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't pay it off immediately, then you don't need to spend it. We think a credit card, we get a $10,000 limit on a credit card. We got $100 in the bank, so we think we got $10,100. No,
Right.
you don't. You don't. You don't have that money, man. And that's the thing I think I struggled with when I was younger, is just because I had a credit card, and I think, I'll pay it off. Even if you do pay it off, the amount of interest that you pay, man, you done spent and wasted a lot of money, man. A lot of money. Like Chris said, discipline is key. Having that discipline to be able to make your payments and everything like that, man, and it's easier to stop yourself from getting in that financial pit hole than it is to dig your way out of it. So what I would tell my younger self is, if you don't got the cash for it, don't even use your card for it. Like, don't even do that, man. And if you could do that, you be good. If you could just stick with that, living in between your means, you'll be good, man. So that's the main thing, like, to the people, especially the young kids out there starting, man. If you don't got the cash for it, don't use your card for it.
So do you think that? I'm sorry, Mr. Pratt. Go ahead.
Well, you see it, and you wouldn't want to attach the level of difficulty with it. But why would you say this is our struggle with young black people in spending?
Because we've been promoted these to live a certain lifestyle. We've been promoted to have the best, the fancy cars, the fancy clothes, and this and that. And we've been promoted to live above our means, man, to have status symbols. And so a lot of times, man, sometimes you get in a situation and you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about like those emergency situations. I'm talking about like the frivolous spending that we do on cars, clothes, jewelry, entertainment, things we don't need to survive, or to get to where we need to go. And so I think that's the reason why we have a tough time, is because we get shown a certain lifestyle that we supposed to live, or things that we're supposed to have. And a lot of marketing is targeted towards us as black people, because we got the highest spending rate in the country, but yet we got the lowest saving rate. So, it's way off balance. And a lot of it comes to the marketing, man. They market to us, and because they know we'll spend that money, whereas other cultures, they're more financially aware of where they at and where they want to be at. And so they put plans and everything in place. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, man. We want to keep up with the Joneses, as I would say.
But AJ, Mr. Giovanni would say that that's some BS, because you don't have to. People say it's not the promotion. So I want to know, why do you think we spend so much? Why are we in the current financial, I would say the financial crisis that we're in, that we're digging ourselves out of?
I think it's the promotion and the literacy.
I'm asking Mr. Giovanni.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was asking him. I think it's a mixture of both. I agree with the that it is promoted to us. It is promoted to us. I think in a way it is, but it is. I think it still comes down to our fault in the way that we see things. us as a culture. We do spend a lot, but for some reason we're unable to spend it with us or
Mm-hmm.
build wealth with it. And on that part, I think it's our fault. I mean that if you see if you see you supposed to eat cookies and it sit there on the counter all day, it's on you that you picked it up. It don't matter if somebody
Mm-hmm.
bring a free pair of cookies every single day. You can put it on the counter every day, but it's on you to pick it up. So for some reason, we just keep picking up the cookie. We keep on doing the same thing over and over. It dumbs down to how we're raised. It dumbs down to our culture. It dumbs down because we got to impress people for no reason. I think it's a combination of all that, but it is promoted to us. But at the end of the day, it's going to be our fault because we keep on doing it. I mean, we have the same access like everybody else, same books access and same internet access. And some of us pick it up like us and Paul learned about money, and he's very educated in it. He chose to learn about it. It's just that some people just don't take the time out to learn about how we can get our debt down and how we can spend correctly. So, I mean, it's like it's almost like a crack. It's almost like a crackhead trying to get off crack, but he just won't go to rehabilitation. It's just it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to get off the crack. It's like black people on the crack, but not literally. But it's on the debt crack, but they can't get off because they don't
No,
want
we
to.
don't.
Yeah, so it's like we don't want to get
on the
off
debt
it.
crack. We on the debt crack.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree. It's all of those things. It's a combination of all of those things. And I also think we don't see, like, when you think about us, how many of us actually seen a millionaire in our family? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Big Keys? How many of us seen like a millionaire in our family? You know what I'm saying? So when you don't come from money and you don't see money and nobody ever taught you money, you think you're doing good, but you don't know you could be doing better. And so, that's where I think some of that come in and everything as well. But we got Big Keys in the building. What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up,
Hey,
Case?
what's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Y'all know y'all talk about money. I'm supposed to be in here in the initial stages, but y'all been touching on a lot. So I'm like, man, I don't even want to say nothing no more. Paul and Trey done said it. Goddamn.
No, man. No, go ahead. Add your piece, man. We're gonna talk about it for like another 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna go to the next topic, man. But go ahead, add your piece. What you want to add to it?
No, y'all, like I said, y'all pretty much touched on everything I wanted to say. Like our culture and the way we put ourselves in debt is like passed on from generation to generation. And you really don't know till you know. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it wasn't until I changed my environment and got around like the corporate environment, around people that know how to manage money to where I learned like, if I could start all over again, you just asked the question, if I could start all over again, I wouldn't have went to school. I wouldn't have bought no new car or nothing like that. Like nothing that's generating interest I would have, signed up for. I would have just, stacked my bread and then went from there and probably could have changed the trajectory. I'm doing well now, and I'm still got some debt, but just that nothing that's accumulating interest should be in your interest. How about that?
Hello.
He keeps coming in with the sayings, man. Hey, look,
It'll be off top of the dome. So.
Hey, look, before we wrap this topic up, man, I just want to add to, man, the biggest debts most people accumulate in their life. You got your house, you got your auto or your car, but then that student loans. Because when Keith brought it up, it popped back in my head, man. And people don't understand, like, that student loan does affect you later on down the road, man. So for all the people that are trying to go to school and everything like that, man, make sure this is really what you want to do. Try to figure out a way to get as many scholarships and grants and everything. Keep that student loan debt as low as possible, and try your best to have no student loan debt. Because, man, that thing right there, as soon as you sign the papers and stuff, man, interest and everything start accumulating, and they'll let you keep deferring because they just gonna keep adding more and more interest on it. So I just wanted to throw that out there to everybody too, man. But
and one more thing, when it comes to when it comes to this debt thing, I just had a brain fight. What the hell? Oh, yes, our people. There are more ways of getting out of debt than just paying your way out of debt. Like when it comes to you say like leverage and stuff, there's a lot of programs, debt relief, and assistance that we can get. But we have, if you ask me, I've seen where we have too much pride. Like even during the what is it, the pandemic? Can we say that
Mm.
word? I don't know the
Yeah.
words. But during the pandemic,
The the
they
alleged
created
pandemic.
the alleged pandemic, whatever. We
My
had
bad.
a lot of debt relief.
Mm.
I looked at it from Mr. West, the Silent Sound. He said that we had they had awarded each state a certain amount of money for debt relief and assistance. I know Virginia said it was like $283 million,
Mm-hmm.
and in 2020, and now here we are in 2023, and it's over half of that has not been touched. So all of
Facts.
that is gonna wind up rolling right back into the fat cat's pocket, but that's because they know it's there and they can use it. I see where I've noticed like documentaries of like humble rich white people who would like they don't tip, they live very frivolous, they do certain things like they basically live poor. They basically live poor. But with us, if we got it, then we got it. Or I ain't gonna look like that. I ain't gonna do like that. That type of mentality. So I would say when it comes to debt accumulation, even if you accumulate debt, don't think that the only way that you can get out of it is by paying it off, because that's a game in itself. I've been in a position to where I made more money, went to pay off my entire loan, and they charged me more than the loan to pay it off.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's like, man, it's not as big of a flex when it's hitting your pockets. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Not as big of a
They,
flex when
hey,
it's
look,
hitting
hey, y'all, they got this thing called loan origination fee, where
you.
you could take out a loan for $1,000, and because they originated the loan for you, they charge you a fee of like $100. So really, you only get $900, but you still got to pay on $1,000.
yeah. I
I
got one
mean,
of
it's
those right
crazy, yo.
now.
It's
I
crazy,
got one
man.
of those right now.
Yeah.